Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Hello Pandora. I hope everybody is doing well. I got this kind of angled so hopefully you can see the fire pretty good. So before we jump into this video, I'm just going to remind everybody, we're winding it down. So those of you that hate me talking about my legacy freeze-dried food sale, a couple more days and you're done. But anyway, right now I do have my sale going on my website, preppernurse1.com, for the legacy freeze-dried foods. 20% off sale. It's definitely a good time to take advantage of it because things are fully in stock. So definitely take advantage of that. It is, again, preppernurse1.com. Go in there, you'll see store. You click on that, it will drop down. It'll say Legacy Foods. You click on that, it will take you to the store within the website. If you decide to make a purchase, when you check out, you use the discount code 100,000, the numerical 100,000 subscribers. Okay, that will save you 20% on your purchase. So definitely take advantage of that. All right, 25-year shelf life, GMO free, the largest portion size of any of the other freeze-dried food companies. It is also made in the United States. It is vegetarian, but there are beef and chicken options that are purchased separately that you can get. Also, there are gluten-free options for people that need that as well. Again, it's a good time to take advantage of it because they are fully stocked with things. But you know, shipping times are really quick. So just putting that out there. That sale will be ending on Sunday. So the midnight West Coast time on Sunday, that sale will be over. So technically 3 a.m. East Coast time. All right. So just putting that out there for you guys if you are interested. All right. So I'm doing this video inside today because it's freaking freezing outside. It's about 15 degrees. We ended up with about 4 more inches of snow overnight. So I'm like so done with winter. You have guys have no idea. I'm so done. But yeah, so winter's still trying to hold on here. It's going to be down tonight. They're saying in town that the low is going to be 2 below zero. I think it's like in the teens. I think it's like 14 degrees out, something like that right now. If it's 2 in town, it means we're looking at about 4 below zero up here. So, good times, good times. All right, so this video, we're going to talk about a list of 10 different water systems that you should have on your property. Now, water obviously is a huge key factor of anything that you are doing. Anything that you are doing. So, it is important to you know, pay attention to those type of things, and so just want to share that with you, and we'll go from there. All right, so I'm going to just start out randomly here. One of the first things I think anybody should have on their property, I don't care if you're getting city water, I don't care where you're getting your water from, if it's a well or a rain catchment system, whatever the case may be, I think that you absolutely should have a water filter system of some sort. Either be it a Berkey water filter system or something. With the different water that they consider drinkable water in cities, I wouldn't drink it. You know, why do you think bottled water is so popular now, guys? And people will pay for bottled water because the chlorine and all the other crap that's in waters in the cities, it's not good to drink it like that, in my opinion. So filtering it is a very good option to have. So you absolutely should have some form of a water filtration system on your property, no matter what. Even if you're out in the middle of the country and you're drinking well water, I would still filter it anyway, just to be on the safe side. All right, so that's number one. One of the things too that I want to talk about here, that you should be doing a cascade level of your water. There's 3 primary types of water, guys. There's clean water, right? Turn your sink on, whatever, that kind of water. Literally the water that you're using to flush your toilet. That's clean water. All right. Then you have your gray water, which is, you know, if you've washed your dishes or you've taken a shower and those type of things, that's your gray water. And then you have black water, which is your wastewater from, you know, using the toilet and those type of things. The gray water, everything can be used on a step level. So if you're using that clean water and you have leftover clean water, that clean water can be used, again, for other things, like taking a shower or all those type of things. Gray water can be used to flush your toilets, and those types. So like any water, like say you were washing your dishes and you got a bunch of water left over, if you utilize that water to use to flush your toilet instead of having, say, automatically clean water going into your toilet, that's not, that's reusing it. It's still good water, and it can be used for that to turn it into black water. Okay, so that cascaded level of, stepping down. All right, just something to think about. Having a natural water source on your property, like a spring, that's a really good thing to have if there is a natural spring on your property. Obviously, now everybody does not have the spring on their property, but I'm saying that if you have a spring on your property, that is something that you definitely should develop, utilize, have available to you. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is a rain catchment system. That's probably the easiest one. There is any buildings that you have on your property, you can set up a 50-gallon barrel, or anything like that, or they have the bigger totes. I have a 550-gallon tank outside of the house here that I have used for years to catch water. We utilize that water then for our gardening and those type of things. It's just another free source of water that's available to you that you can utilize if you want to. And so that's, I think, is a good thing to do, and I think it's a good thing to have. So rain catchment system's really easy, using your rain gutters, barrels, and that type of stuff. All right. Along with the rain catchment system, you might want to have a cistern in place. So from the rain barrels or whatever way that you're running your system, have it run into a cistern where you have, maybe a 10,000-gallon tank to utilize that water. A good option to check into that would be the Green Dream Project guys. They did a system. They're in Arizona. Then in monsoon season is when they get their rain, and they have set up a cistern system where they can have a tremendous amount of water on hand, because the rest of the year, when it's not monsoon season, they don't get rain. So they got to save as much rain that they're going to use for the year in that case with that. So I think that's a huge thing, really a smart thing to do. If you have that cistern, you have a lot of water available to you, and then every time it rains, it's refilling up your cistern. Okay, so that's a really smart thing to have, and you absolutely should have that, I think, especially if you're trying to be as independent as possible. That's just, obviously if you live in a city, you're not going to be able to put a cistern in, but you definitely can put rain catchment systems in if you live in a city and utilize that water for other things. All right, so the next thing I would say would be a well. Having a well on your property is really, really important if you can. A lot of wells are from 20 feet deep to 300 feet deep. My well here on the property here is 140 feet deep. I have an artesian well, which is even better because the water's always coming up. So no matter what, summer, spring, whatever, that water's always coming up. So it's a great kind of well to have. Along with that, another thing with having a well, what you should have is a well pump. Now, obviously you can do an electric well pump, but if there was a grid down type of situation happening, you would want to have some kind of a hand backup pump available to you to utilize. And I think that that's important to keep that into consideration. Now, again, in my situation it's a little different because I have an artesian well, which means the water is always being forced up. So that's a nice problem to have. Trust me on that one. So, but having a hand pump is a good thing, a very good thing to have. The next thing I would say would be man-made pond. Again, depending on how big your property is, having a pond that you can utilize and have that water reservoir there. Obviously, that would be something that would have to be absolutely filtered and stuff like that. But if you could get something that's spring-fed, and all that type of stuff, that would be helpful as well. The next thing, permacultural swale. Now, I know that you guys, anybody that's watched this channel for any length of time knows I had a swale put in on upper area of my property so the water was not draining directly down on us. What a swale will do depending on what your property is as you can put swales in. It's like little ditches, so you're directing where the water is going to go. So you could literally have the swale that comes down, goes like this, curves around, goes like that, working its way down like a terrace type of situation. So those are really cool things to have, especially if you're growing on those tiers. You're directing the water where you want the water to go. So a swale is a very, very good thing to have. Let's see. Alright, the next thing is, having a natural water source is always a nice thing as well. If you have, a creek or something that runs through the property, or, a river or whatever the case may be, obviously you want to take advantage of that as well. So that's a natural water source is coming from wherever higher up the mountain, wherever the case may be. Having that, to being able to utilize that, is a really, really good thing. Alright, let's see what we got. I gotta just make sure I'm going over everything. Okay, the next thing would be an aqueduct system. The Romans used that. They brought the water down out of the hills, and they brought it down, and as it came down, obviously it increased pressure, especially when they were running it through tubes. You're increasing your head pressure, so where the water may be flowing slowly higher up, as it comes down, in that natural progression of it working its way down, it's going to be better water pressure. So an example would be, like on my property in West Virginia, I have the upper meadow up here, I have a lower meadow down here. I could store a lot more water up at the upper level meadow, and then have it with a tube fed down to the lower level, and that pressure of that water going through that tube is going to give me a lot more water pressure at the lower level. So that's using an aqueduct type of system. That's not a bad idea either. Again, a lot of these things are if you have any amount of land. I mean, you got 5-10 acres of land, you can utilize these different things better. If you're living in the city, you're kind of obviously limited what you can do. But you can take some of these ideas in the city and utilize them as well. Let's see if I did everything. Yep, that pretty much, that's, I had to look at my 10 things that I was saying. But there's 10 things, guys, that you can utilize, that you can have on your property. It's going to give you some ideas of what you can do. Obviously, if you live in a city, you're not putting in a pond, right? But if you live in a city, you could put in a swimming pool. A lot of places have swimming. That's a lot of water to be utilized as a water source that way. So something to think about with that. Again, in the country, you're looking at more of putting in the pond. You could also have a swimming pool in the country too if you wanted to do it that way as well. But where putting in a cistern in the city is not going to probably be possible. But you could definitely have water barrels, water storage and tanks that way in the city, and utilize that water. Just another option for you. When the power goes out in a city, in the country, whatever the case may be, unless you have something set up to deal with that, with having water, with having clean water, you're going to be in trouble in a hurry. So those are things you definitely want to plan for. Those are things you definitely want to think about. So just sharing that information with you. I hope this video helped. I hope you get an idea of it. I definitely would like to hear your feedback. I want to hear what you guys have to say. But there's definitely several options that you can do. I'm probably not going to put a pond into the property in West Virginia, at least not right away. Maybe in time, we'll have to see. But I definitely plan on utilizing a lot of these things that I just talked about. I know I have springs on my property, so I'm absolutely going to develop them. In time, we may end up putting in a well. Any building that I have in West Virginia will have a rain catchment system along with it. So that's definitely something that is going to be happening, with that. So something to think about. I hope, if you have any other ideas that you can think about, I definitely would like to hear them. Real quickly, again, going back to my website, we also have the Forefathers, which is a CBD and hemp store. So if you go to preppernurse1.com, you'll see the Forefathers logo. You click on that, it will take you to their website. Once you're on their website, if you decide to make a CBD or hemp purchase, over there when you check out, use the discount code PrepperNurse1, and that's the number 1, not O-N-E. You'll save yourself 15% on your purchase over there. Last thing on my website, we have the Prepper Nurse 1 community, which is a resource that we set up for you guys to be able to connect with like-minded people. I highly recommend that you take advantage of that and look into that, okay? You do have to register, but no credit card information is asked. Once you're in, what? Come here. Come and say hi. Come and say hi to everybody. Once you're in, check out the message boards. Also, check out people in your state or your country. All right? So anyway, guys, I am going to jump off here for now. I hope you've enjoyed the fire. It's felt really, really nice on my back on a very, very cold day. Remember, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. Also, remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that can stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. Alright? I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now. Now, real quick, if you want to stick around here for a second, Mr. Buddy never liked being held like this. And over time, he got used to it, and he knew I wasn't going to hurt him. He was very abused when we got him. Not by the guy that we had him before us, but he was like the second owner. And something that had happened to Buddy before then, where he was very skittish. And so, when we got him, he had some issues of trust, but he learned to realize that we were here for him and we weren't going to hurt him. And now I hold him like this, and he's got no issue. He don't always like it, but he deals with it. Alright, I'll see you all later. Bye. I know.